Welcome to your Vibe Tribe. I'm your host, Eliana. Tune in every Friday to listen to conversations about mental health, relationships, dating, pop culture, and listen in on powerful interviews with powerful women from all walks of life. Hey guys, it's your host, Eliana, and welcome back to another week's episode. This episode is going to be one of the most meaningful episodes for me because I am going to have an interview with the woman that birthed me and basically made me who I am. And yes, it's my mom. She's on this episode. So please, please, please show her some love after this episode. So say hello, mommy.
Hi, hello. My name is Thais Omega. I'm Eliana's mom. I'm the most proud of mom in the world. I have my daughter doing what she's doing right now. I'm super proud of her. I don't know if we should talk about my age. I'm 55 years old. I'm proud of the way I am and I look.
Yes.
I have a business degree. I have a degree in business administration. I graduated from in Venezuela in 1991, long time ago. So I don't know what else. I'm a happy mom. I'm a happy person. I'm here. I am.
Yes. And guys, she's literally such a badass. She works out every single morning for at least like 30 minutes. She honestly inspires me so much, just like in fitness, in life. And she really hasn't had like an easy life by any means. I feel like life has given you a lot of challenges, but honestly, like she's just pushed through always. And I mean, even growing up, like even when we've had some really tough times, I never felt like she was stressed out or she was like sad, like at all. Like I, as a child, never noticed any of that. And now being an adult and being able to talk to my mom about all of those difficult challenges that she's had and to know that she went through all that and now seeing it on the other side of how she carried herself is just so inspiring. And so we're just going to chat and talk to you guys about a little bit about her experiences from the beginning and now where she is. But hopefully, you know, anybody that's like a single mom or anybody that's just having a tough time right now, hopefully I think her story will inspire you and will tell you that like things will get better. You just have to keep pushing on. So let's get started. So I want to just start from the beginning. So where were you born? Like, where did you grow up?
Oh, well, we came from a very small town in Venezuela, Guarenas. I just have to say that my life wasn't easy, but my parents have the same story kind of too. But they were together, they have 5 kids. They start really, really, really poor, with working hard to raise the kids, 5 kids. So I see that in my parents, but I never see nothing wrong. Just they work hard. They work hard to make money to give us what we want, or not what we want, what we need, because
Yeah.
they never have for luxury or stuff. They try to do their best with us. So I just remember my dad, in the small town that we were living. They always, because we are 5 women and 1 boy, which is the elder one. And my dad always say, I don't want this place or this area for my kids to grow up. I don't want to see my daughters to marry any of those boys out there. I don't think I want to give it a better life for them. And I remember my dad kept saying that. And then one point he decided to sell the house that we have, a little house, and move to the city, to the capital, Caracas. And my dad worked morning and night late. My mom have 2 jobs. She's a teacher, and she worked for 2 jobs, one in the morning, one in the afternoon, and take us to the school and give us what we need. I mean, very, very stressful all the time. So I see that in
Yeah.
there. I think that's the thing that I copy, that we have to work hard for to get what we need. However,
Yeah.
even like that they work so hard, and we were 5 kids, they give us the education. When we moved to Caracas, even if they didn't have a lot of money, they were able to pay for private school for us.
Yeah.
Give us a good education, a good school. We all went to college, even if we are 5 kids. I was the first one. I'm the middle one, and I was the first one to
Yeah.
graduate. But I was a happy child. I think I didn't see any bad in my family. We were very close to each other. My parents love us.
Yeah, they're
They
amazing
work hard.
grandparents.
Yeah, they work hard for us. I have nothing bad to say about my parents. Just I'm super
Yeah.
proud of them that they were able to raise us the way they did, and we were
Yeah.
able to go to school, study, all the stuff. So I remember I went to college, and my dad picked me up every night. I call him because I didn't have a car. I didn't have money to buy a car. Even if I was working, I wasn't enough. In Venezuela, it's a different situation. It was a
Yeah.
different situation. So even if you work, it's not enough for you unless you make a lot of money, like to buy you
Yeah.
a car, to rent an apartment, or anything like that. It's not that easy like here in the United States. So I went to school, but going to college, I worked full time. I went to college at night. My dad always picked me up from college. I was going to the gym every day in the lunchtime. In Venezuela, we used to have 2 hours of lunch. At work, we work at 8 hours, but 8 to 12, and then
Yeah.
2 to 4. So those 2 hours, I go get the train, and I go to the gym because I'm passionate about working out, and always
Yeah,
looking
you've always been passionate about that.
to get fit and look good. I work
I'm
hard.
dead.
I went to school. I graduate. I always have a good job. I get pregnant. I was a single
Yeah.
mother. I have this beautiful girl. That's why I cannot go so fast forward, because I have this beautiful baby, Eliana. As a single mother,
Me.
I raised her, and but in Venezuela it was hard. I lost my job, and then it was like around 6 months without finding a new job. Eliana was maybe 3 years old. And then it was
Yeah.
hard for me. It was crazy in Venezuela. Every time I go to look for a job, it was lines and lines and lines, so I couldn't find any job. And my sister was living here in the United States. And then my dad insists you should try. I came on vacation one time, and I played the bingo in the airplane, so I won a ticket. So that ticket, I hold it in there to see if I can come in vacation
Wait,
after I find my job.
can we just pause for a second? Guys, I literally wrote my college essay like to get into FSU on that story, on that she literally like the whole reason that I was able to come to the US is because she won a lottery. Like she won a bingo lottery for a flight, and that's the only reason that I'm here. I
Yeah.
mean, probably you would have had maybe another chance to come, but I just think that's like life. Just like nothing is a coincidence, and everything happens for a reason. And like the fact that you won that lottery and that's why you came to the US is nuts. But continue. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, my dad insists that I should come over here, but I didn't want to come to the United States because I was afraid for me to learn the English language. I didn't
Yeah.
want it. However, I won that bingo, and I won that ticket, and I didn't have any job. So it was a very hard decision for me to make. It was the hardest decision I ever make in my life, because I cannot come to United States with my daughter because I didn't know how it's gonna be. So I have to leave Eliana with my parents.
Yeah.
And I know it's gonna be good for her because I mean, they love her, and they love my parents. They love Eliana like they were their own kid. But it was hard for me. But after I make a decision, because I cannot hold anymore, I cannot wait anymore. I have to make money. I came over here to the United States, and it was hard for me to leave Eliana. However, I was just hoping that the things here in the United States is gonna be good. And I mean, I'm gonna bring Eliana really fast. And I
Yeah.
remember I told her, "Hey, mommy, I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna rent an apartment and I'm gonna work over there and I'm gonna uh, take you in a month." That's what I
Yeah.
say to her. You were 3 years old, Eliana, and I say that to you.
What did I say? Do you remember
You
my reaction?
No, you say okay because we live with my parents, and for you it wasn't a shock that I'm gonna go because I'm going on
Yeah.
vacation or something. I'm gonna do something and I'm gonna pick you up fast. I'm gonna look for you
Yeah.
fast. I'm gonna bring you to the United States fast.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't that fast. It was 4 months, and I remember every
Oh
time I
my
called you
gosh.
at the beginning, you were receiving the call, and then you talk to me or whatever. And one point you say, "I don't want to talk to you anymore. Tell my mom I don't want to talk to her. I don't
Oh my God, I'm
wanna
so mean.
I don't want to talk to her because she lied to me. She didn't want to pick me up. And I keep waiting and she's not picking
Mm.
me up. And you were 3 years old, Eliana, and you say that to me. And I was crying. And even
Oh
my
my
mom say,
gosh.
"Hey, your mom is crying." And she say, "It's okay. Tell her to pick me up, that I want her to pick me up." And you never talk to me anymore.
Oh my
So I have to
gosh.
work harder and harder to make money to save, to have an apartment, and it's hard. And
Oh,
finally, after 4 months, and just pay for
was
the
able to
flight,
bring
and you
me.
took you, and you come over here, and we start
What were you
living.
doing to make money? Like in that time,
Well,
like what
I
were you
was
doing?
imagine when I was in Venezuela, I was have a degree. I was working as a manager in administration in a company, and I came over here, and the first job that I found, because I didn't speak English by then at all.
Yeah.
So I went to a flea market, and I have friend of my sister that gave me a job. It was a small store for nails. It was a treatment
Yeah,
for
I
fungus.
remember. I would go visit you. I
It was a
remember.
treatment for fungus in the nail. So I started working in there. It was good because they liked my work. They give me full time, so I was working full time, but 7 days a week, 7 days,
That's
and
crazy.
every 15 days I have one day off. So
That's
for me
crazy.
to bring you over here, I have to pay for a babysitter that it cost me almost the same amount of money that I was making in the flea market. So I was paying
That's
the
crazy.
babysitter, I was paying the rent, and I barely have to for the food. But I survived. I bought a car for $600 that I have. I drove to the flea market every day. I took it to school, and I was able to survive and to make it. So
Yeah.
it
And
was
guys, like
hard.
I never felt like I knew we didn't have money growing up, but I didn't like I never felt like I'm like, oh, she doesn't know how she's gonna buy us food or she doesn't know how she's gonna buy something for me. Like I never felt that way. I was always like, yeah, we don't have like a lot of money. Like I'm like, yeah, I get one pair of sneakers every year, but that's like not weird. I'm like, that's maybe my mom's just likes to save. But I don't think I ever felt like we were poor. You know what I mean? Unless until I got older and then I was like, oh, okay, yeah, we really don't have that much money. You know what I mean? But I never felt like I wasn't being taken care of. Like I always had everything that I needed. Always. And like even like Christmas and stuff. Like I remember the one time that I was like, okay, we don't have money was when I was like, oh, I want this for Christmas and you're like, oh, Santa's has is on a budget this year. And I was like, what? I was like, wait, what? So that's when I was like, okay, we don't have a lot of money. But, you know, that didn't affect me like in a negative way. So that goes to show like how you like just were working and you just kept it to yourself, you know.
Yeah,
You didn't
because
like transmit those emotions to me.
at the end, the kid doesn't. It shouldn't be a kid's problem. I mean,
Yeah.
because it shouldn't affect it that way. I mean, I try my best not to hide it from you that I don't have abundance of money or a lot of money to spend. But in one point, I have to, hey, I cannot do
Yeah.
it now. We have to wait, or let's wait until the payday, or when I get my salary, or something like that. But I try to keep it, as as I try to keep you as happy as possible.
Yeah. So fast forward, so you I feel like I was older, so after the job like at the flea market, where did you go after that?
Well, after a flea market, I remarry Eliana and I remarry your stepdad, Jose. I get another child. But that
Yeah.
marriage didn't work well, so I'm ending with two
Yeah.
kids by myself again. Mary and the guy was from Venezuela, so older than me, and I feel like okay, Eliana need a father because she always needs a father. I remember we were going to the to buy groceries, and she see a mom and dad and a girl, and then she always say, "Why we cannot be like that?" And I say, "What do you mean? Why we cannot be mom and dad and the baby? Why we have to be
I'm
only
such a
mom and
demanding
me?"
child.
Yeah, and she gonna wanted that father figure, and I say, okay, let me. I guess she needs a father. So I met this guy, and I didn't see him for too long, and we decided because he was old. He said, I'm not gonna date him for so long. I'm older already. Let's
Yeah.
get married. So we get married. I have a kid. I get pregnant, and I find out when I was pregnant that the guy was alcoholic.
Yeah.
So I didn't have the time to see that much because we work the whole day. We see each other for a little bit, and I know he drinking. He likes to drink, but I didn't notice it that he was alcoholic.
You didn't see
And
the
at one
extent
point,
of
I
it.
lost my job in the flea market, so I stay at home. Um, I wasn't pregnant yet, and I stay at home. And I realized when he come back from work in the afternoon, the first thing he goes is just to drink a full glass of whiskey and like a water. And I say that that's not normal, and I start all the
Yeah.
problem. But it was too late. I was pregnant already.
Oh my
So I
gosh.
stayed with him. I even pregnant. I told him, this is not gonna work. I have a daughter. I don't want to have a deal with a alcoholic person if you
Yeah.
don't change. So he promised me to change, but it didn't. It never happened. So I stayed with him
Yeah.
like for 8 years. We bought a house. I tried so
That's
hard. We went
crazy.
to a
Yeah.
church. We did many things to try to take him to the alcoholic thing. We bought a house, but at one point, I noticed I wasn't happy. I wasn't
Yeah.
happy. I don't want to live with an alcoholic person because he didn't realize that he alcoholic and he didn't want to change.
Yeah.
So I left him. I left the house. I took my clothes. We bought a house together, and that house I told him you should leave. And then he said, I'm not leaving. If you want, you can leave. So that's what I did. I just took my clothes, my two kids, and I rent an apartment. And I left him. I left everything, and I didn't care because what's the point to continue with a relationship that we are not happy? And even Eliana wasn't happy too. He was
Yeah.
seeing it. She
I
was seeing it bad.
remember I was just like so confused because like obviously from my perspective, I was like I remember you were going to work out, like you've always cared about like your health and like and it was just that you guys were such complete opposites. Like you were just on completely different like just life paths. Like he was more of just someone that was content with like his 9 to 5 job, and he was working like in maintenance, and he's a good person, but just looking back now, it's like he was like someone that life had kind of almost like taken the joy out of, like he had no joy in life anymore. Like it was just like he was kind of going through the motions of life. He didn't really have like a passion or something that made him happy. Like he just was going through life, like and as sad as that is, but he was just going through life. And you were still someone that I could see like you were trying so hard to make your life better because you knew that it could be better, and you
Hmm.
were still reaching for that, and you guys were just like on
Yeah,
completely
no, he was
different
pulling me down. Every time I
wavelengths.
tried to push harder
Yeah,
and to the
he would bring you
high, he
down.
just pulled me down. No, we cannot do this. He was a person that he just say, I just live in the life, just waiting for me the day that I have to leave this world. So that's it until the
Yeah,
day that I
like I'm
die.
just waiting to die.
Yeah,
that's
that's
that's the
it.
right way
That's
that I
it.
meant to
He
say.
just
He was
was
just
waiting
waiting
to
to die.
die, and that's it. Leave this earth. But for me, no. I mean, I'm a
So
fighter.
when did you decide that it was like, okay, I'm done, like this is not for me anymore?
it happens something, God always put you someone for some reason in your life, or something happen in your life that this give you that, like a hey, hello, I have to do something. I don't know. I was working in the one of the mall, one of the part-time job, because I always work my job and a part-time job to get my money. And for some reason, somebody in that job, in one of the stores that I was, reached out to me, and I don't know why. I don't remember exactly what happened, but he started talking to me about alcoholic, something. I don't know how you call it, like a triple, not triple A. It's
Yeah.
Alcoholic
Triple A.
Anonymous. I don't know how you say that in English.
Um, Alcoholic Anonymous. Oh my
Whatever.
God, now you got me confused. I don't even know how to say it
Yeah,
either.
something like that. And then
AA, yeah, it's just
AA.
AA.
And then
Yeah.
and then he gave me a small book, and he said, "This is a play." I don't know why, and I don't remember who was that guy. I didn't see it again. But he
Yeah.
gave me even a book and a number, a place that you can go. And I told him, no, but the problem is not me, it's him. But he think he is not alcoholic. He said, no, this is not for him. This is for the family. This is for you. And I said, I'm gonna go there. One day I was so desperate and I went there.
Really?
You don't need
Wait,
an
I didn't
appointment.
know this.
Yeah,
You've never
I,
told me
I
this.
went to that place, and then it's a salon, a place, a room that a lot of people, a family from the alcoholic people goes there and talk. So we do
Mm-hmm.
a circle and we talk. So I sit
Yeah.
in one of the chairs and I was listening to everybody. It was my first day. This is supposed to be every day or once a week or something like that. But that was my first day, and I went there and I sit in there and listen to people the story. And then one point it was me, my turn, and then the lady that was directing or asking people to talk, to say, "Did you want to talk?" And the only thing I did was crying, and I say, "No, I don't want to talk today." And I left.
Mm-hmm.
And I left. I took my car and I cried, 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 cried. I went home. I opened the door. I hugged you guys. And that day, I decide that I'm gonna leave him, because in that room it was just people living the same thing, just
Yeah.
waiting until this is gone. This is the end. Oh, I was.
Oh my
I
gosh.
forgot about leaving because of my life. We was concentrating in an alcoholic person. So that's all the story for everybody in there that I was listening. And I say, I don't want this. I don't want to live the rest of my life just somebody. I cannot go to a party because the guys just get drunk, and it was all messed up. And I said, I don't want to live the same life that those people are living. So I cannot. I don't accept that one as my life. So I went home and I decided that I'm gonna that's it. I'm not gonna give you more opportunity. And you went to Venezuela. I sent you to Venezuela with my parents for vacation, and
Yeah.
I moved to the room, and I was sleeping in your room when you were in there. And then when you come
Oh, I
back,
remember.
you told me, Mommy, why are you sleeping with me? Oh, because I miss you, Eliana. I miss you so much. So that's why let me stay with you, because I didn't want to go back. I was already sleeping 2 months in that room because he didn't want to
Yeah.
leave. And then when you come back, I told you, because I don't want to explain to you that we have a problem, but I don't know what to do. And then you told me, Mommy, I don't know why you're with him. I don't respect you.
I'm
I
such
don't
a
think,
savage.
yeah, I don't know. You don't match with him. And I don't, and it's, Mommy, but that's kind of your father. He said, that's not my father. And the way he is, honestly, I don't know why you stick with him. And that was the courage that you give me for me to make a decision. I said, okay, that's it.
Yeah.
He doesn't leave it. I have the house, but the material things, you can lose it and you can gain it again. I mean, you can
Yeah.
work for that, but your life, your miserable life, or your sad life, nobody will take that from you, or you cannot recover it from
Yeah.
that. So I made a decision to leave, and I since I have your not support because you were 13 years old or something like that, but at least I feel like you don't see him as a father.
You're like, you
And
don't
the
need him.
intention,
So
exactly,
why
the
do I need
intention for
him?
me to be with him is like give you a father. But a father that it wasn't your father, it wasn't acting like your father, it was a drunk
Yeah.
person next to me.
Yeah.
So I left and I rent an apartment and I move on.
I think a lot of women stay in those type of relationships because they feel like I can't do it on my own. Like let's say it was, you had a job, but he made more than you at that time, didn't he? Like he was, like
Yeah.
didn't he make more than you or like a little bit more? I don't
He
know,
was
but like
making more than me. Yeah, he was
he was
making more
making
than me. But
okay.
at the end, actually, when I decide to leave, I lost another job because it was 2009 when the market crashed here in the United States, and everybody lost their job, and everything was so crazy. The company that I was working for, they couldn't pay me anymore, so I jumped to another job with a less salary, and in that moment that I was earning even less, that's the moment that I decide to leave him
To
and to
leave.
change my life.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. Most women are afraid to a lot of women in those type of relationships are afraid to like make the leap of like just leaving because they're afraid that they can't pay the bills or they're used to, maybe like they're financially supported by that person. And it's like that's one thing that you've always taught me and is like no matter what, like you need to be able to financially support yourself. You need to be able to handle being by yourself. You can't depend on anybody else.
Yeah, and
And
it's
like the
true.
fact that you left a home that you bought, like worked so hard to buy and afford a house and then just to walk away, like that shows a lot of guts and a lot of like knowing, honestly, just believing in yourself. Like you need to believe in yourself in order to be able to do that. So that says a lot
Yeah,
about
because
who
at the
you
end,
are.
if you have health, Eliana, and you trust in yourself, and you know you're doing the right thing, that's the bottom line. If you do it the right thing, you always gonna succeed. You always gonna find a way to get better.
Yeah.
Maybe you're gonna be struggle, maybe you're gonna have a hard life at the moment, but the life is not, it doesn't stay like that unless you want it. But if you believe in yourself and you keep fighting for to get better, you will do it.
Yeah.
The bottom line is that you believe in yourself and you don't need anybody else. I mean, the fact that I moved from Venezuela with you only, without anybody
Yeah.
else. Of course, I have the support of my parents, my sister
Yeah.
that was here, but I it was you and me. That's it. And I
Yeah.
did it. And I say, okay, I have another child, and I'll do it again. I don't care.
Yeah.
I work double hard, but I'm gonna do it
Yeah.
again.
Because you
So
know that you didn't deserve that you
I
didn't
don't
deserve that
no
life.
no for money or for no be lonely. It's hard. It's hard to make a decision and go back to your loneliness. But I think if you love yourself, you never gonna be lonely because
I
you
love
love
that. That's
yourself.
so powerful. I hope whoever's listening like actually heard what she just said because it's true. If you do love yourself, you're never
You're
going to be
never
alone and
gonna
I've
be
always said
alone.
that.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
always said that.
You don't need you want people, but you don't stay with somebody because you need it, because you need that's the one who provide for you. You are with someone because you are happy, because you respect that person, because you
Yeah.
admire that person, because you look up to that person. But for somebody that you feel so, never stay with somebody because you feel sorry. And at one point,
Sorry
that's
for
what I was
them.
feeling. I feel sorry for that person.
Yikes. Yeah.
So it's
That's
hard, but
crazy.
I'm proud of myself that I finally
Hell yeah,
be
you should be.
happy.
Yeah. That's another thing. Like, you worked two jobs until when? When did you stop working two jobs? Was it when I was like about to go to college or no? It
No,
was
when
when I was in high school.
yeah, when you were about to go to college because they didn't remarry again.
Yeah, she
That,
met a lovely Asian man. He's
that's
the
another
best.
story. That's supposed to be in a different episode because
That's
this
another
is
story. We'll
a
have her come back for how someone who doesn't speak English meets
yeah.
and falls in love with someone that only speaks English and Filipino. Let me know.
Yeah, but
That's another day.
I think the meaningful in this, Eliana, is that you always have to have hope. Yeah, I mean, you
Yeah.
don't put in your mind like, oh, poor me. Yeah, in the moment that you say poor me, is you feel sorry for yourself, and that's a no-no.
Yeah.
I never in my life say, why this happening to me? Why I'm so sad? Why poor me?
Yeah.
Never crossing my mind. I always say, oh, this is happening to me. Okay, here we go. I am.
How am I going to deal with
How I'm
it? How
gonna
am I
deal
going to
with
deal with
this?
it?
What I'm gonna do? Where I'm gonna go? Okay, let's move forward. Okay,
You got to
that
figure
give
it
me
out.
courage. Every time I have a hard situation, it give me courage to, hey, let me look even deeper, or I don't know what to do, what to say, but give me courage to keep fighting
Yeah. No,
and
and
do
that's
better.
another thing. Like, I thought it's funny, right? Because, like, I was talking to Manny and I was like, yeah, I was so desperate. Like, I was like, I wanted to save money and I couldn't. So I was like, I'm going to just pick up trash at night. Remember? I was like, I'm just going to do that. But I was like, to me, like, if I don't have money, then I need to get another job and I need to figure it out. Cause like there's some people that I feel like they're like, oh, I have this job. I don't make enough money. And it's just like, poor me. Like, what am I going to do? Like, then get another job. You have
Exactly.
8 more hours in the day. Like, and I'm not saying like kill yourself, right? But like, if you have the weekends, if you can't afford to pay your bills and you can't take care of your child and you are able to work every single day, then you need to work every single day. Like you need to just figure it out. And like you taught me that. Like you literally had two jobs almost my whole life because
Oh,
you needed to have two jobs to make the money that you needed to take care of me. And you just did it. You were like, this is what I have to do. And you never did anything where it was demeaning or
no.
you were selling your body. Like you were like, I'm gonna sell this freaking nail polish at a flea market, or I'm gonna work as a
Selling
receptionist. Like
perfumes
you did
too.
anything that you could that was respectable, and you like were like, I'll clean bathrooms. I don't care. Like I'll do whatever I need to do. And you slowly but surely, like you moved up, and like now you have a freaking corporate job, and you just got a promotion. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. If you have to trust, you have to believe in yourself that you can do it. And it's always, I feel this country has so many opportunities. And I mean, I graduated in 1999. I was feeling like I was outdated when I tried to apply for a job. And I went back to college. I went to Valencia College for 3 years.
Community college,
Tried to
yeah.
learn English and then went back to accounting to see if I refresh everything because I haven't worked in accounting for a long time. And I still own the loan and I'm paying a loan that I get when I went to college. So it's always a way for you to move forward and to do good
Yeah.
and to be better. You
And to
just
push
want to
forward.
believe, you just have to believe and work for that. Not believe and think sitting in a chair waiting for things coming to your door and knock the door and say, hey, do you want this? No, you have to look for it. You have to you have to trust and it will happen.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
And that's just like the tip of the iceberg of like your life and experiences. But that was really like what I wanted to show to my listeners, that it's like if you ever feel like you're stuck, like you just gotta just dig deep and find that little strength that you have in yourself, and that could be your kids, that could just for you, right? Like it could be for anyone, but you need to find that little spark that you
well,
need to push through.
one of the things that I have to say that the love for my kids, that's the one who make me stronger. Actually,
Yeah.
maybe I was stronger before, but I didn't know how stronger I
Yeah.
was until I have those two babies or you at the beginning because you were the first one and you were the one who literally made me the strongest person in this world because I mean, you have a baby. I say, what
Yeah.
are you gonna do? You're gonna cry? You have to feed that baby. You have to give it a good life. And also, I think everything the way I am is because I see my parents working hard too. My mom
Mm.
have two jobs. My mom teaching one school in the morning and another in the afternoon. And my mom wake up at
Yeah.
4 o'clock in the morning and make the food for us when we were little to leave it in there. When we come back from school, we already have the food done because
Yeah.
she's not gonna come for lunchtime. So I see that in my parents. So I
Yeah.
think all of us copy that kind of spirit or that kind of hard work that
From their
that we
parents.
are.
Yeah.
And I mean, we have. I think this is. This is
Yeah,
based
it's like a
from,
cycle.
yeah, it's like a
Yeah.
cycle.
Yeah, because I remember in college, I mean, I've talked about how hard college was for me. That was my fault. I literally just picked like a major that was like not meant for me, like at all, by any means. But literally the only reason that I feel like I graduated and like I pushed through was because I just kept thinking, okay, so I'm here for nothing. Like my mom did all of this just for me to not graduate. Like, no. I need to graduate. No matter what I do, I need to graduate. Like even if honestly, like I would have those thoughts like I just need to do this for her because I'm like if not it's like all for nothing. Why am I here?
Yeah. No, and then I mean, whatever happened to you in college, or the struggles that you have, or the hard the choice that you made in your career, that the one that you choose, it make you the person who you are right now, because you learn from so many things in there. Those 4 years, it
Yeah.
was a learning experience. Maybe you don't practice your career or the whatever biology you
Oh,
graduate
but I
for,
learned a lot.
but what you learn is nobody can take that from you. No
Yeah, it
one,
was a lot.
Eliana, and it's gonna be with you forever. So, and it make you the person who you are. I feel that the hard
Yeah.
situation is always make you better, always.
Yeah, they do.
So unless you choose a
They
different,
freaking suck when you're going through them, but
yeah,
then like once you're on the other side, like it's very eye-opening and it's like that's why I mean that's the reason I'm doing this podcast. Like I'm just like I wish, I would have been able to hear these stories and I mean they're out there, right? You just have to find them, but that's the reason I want to do this podcast because I'm like if someone listens to this like and they're about to give up, like hopefully listening to your story or someone else's story like gives them the strength that maybe they don't have in their own life,
hmm, yeah. We
to push
always
through
have,
and
when
keep
we have
going.
problem, we always think our problem is the worst. Our
Yeah.
problems are the biggest one in the world. Nobody else have that, and it's not true.
Yeah.
Maybe
It's
my
not true. Yeah.
problems or everything that I went through, it was so small for somebody else problems
Yeah.
compared with another person. So we never think that ours is the worst. I mean, you
Yeah.
haven't for some reason, and we are here just to learn. I mean, everything that happened in my life, I'm not regretting anything.
Yeah.
I'm not mad with anybody. Don't have any regret of what I did or my
Yeah.
choices. But I think I did that in a way. It could be better, but it happens. So for me to learn, for me to be
Yeah.
who I am, it has to happen because we have to
Yeah.
learn some way. So
Yeah. And you always kept that hope, like always hoping and I feel like that's so powerful, like just always having hope that you have to keep going and I'm telling you I feel like that positivity, that hope, it's going to eventually manifest into the life that you want to have.
yeah, you don't give up.
So,
We don't give up. We don't
mm-mm.
have. As soon as you have, if you are alive, you don't give up. You keep
Yeah,
fighting. You keep fighting because in a
exactly.
point in your life it's gonna be easier. And I know that. I
Yeah,
know that for a fact.
exactly. Yay. And also, I just want to say I'm so proud of you for coming on this podcast. She was not wanting, she was like so scared to come on this podcast and talk. And I'm like, you're fine because obviously she still has an accent, which is actually so adorable. So I'm so proud of you for coming on and sharing your story because I know it's going to inspire someone. You inspire me every day, so I know you're going to inspire our
Oh,
listeners.
thank you. I'm happy to be here.
um, Also, go follow her. So, what's your Instagram name?
Is
Oh my God, she doesn't know her Instagram.
no. Let me tell you,
I'm dead. She posts workout videos all the time.
yeah, only work
She's
out to
also gone
inspire.
viral on TikTok for her inspiring fitness videos.
Or here is DHS Omega.
Okay, guys, so you heard that. Go follow her at THS Omega.
Omega, OMEGA.
Yes. So go follow her on Instagram and TikTok. She is a queen. And yeah, go give her some love. Well, thank you for coming on. I love you so much.
I thank you. I love you too, and I'm proud of you.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we will see you next week on next week's mini episode. Bye.
Bye.